Our first guest tonight represents Florida's 18th congressional district, and he's fuming mad like me, but this is over a different bonehead Biden move this week. Joining us now to explain, Congressman Brian Mast. Hi, Congressman. How you doing today?
Good to see you, brother. How you doing?
Well, all things considered, I mean, look, I try to stay as positive as I can when we are under this Biden regime. You heard what we led into your interview with here about Biden's move, racist, xenophobic move, right? To, I don't know, ban a country where there's a huge outbreak, kind of like another president did. And then also the bonehead move to raise the cap and cave to pressure from the extreme left. But you, sir, as a veteran, and myself, I'm fuming mad when you called my producers and told them why you wanted to come on. Please explain to our viewers what this administration did to stop an event come Memorial Day weekend this year, because I find it utterly disgusting.
Rolling thunder, ride to remember. Veterans, Americans, patriots, we want to remember those that we saw fall, killed in action, or those family members that we knew gathered together in the Pentagon parking lot, a place that should be inviting us in on all days. And they're saying, no, listen, we can make sure that in D.C. you get a BLM riot permit, but you can't get a permit to go out there and honor our fallen on Memorial Day in an outdoor 70-acre parking lot at the Pentagon. That's as bonehead as it gets. Wow.
So I've heard of Rolling Thunder. I've always wanted to, because I love to ride. I've had bikes since I was a little kid. Mine's in the shop right now. I'm so bummed. And I would love to make it to D.C. I'm on the other coast and ride in this thing. How many years has Rolling Thunder, do you know, by chance, Congressman, been going on in this country?
This has been going on for several decades.
Wow.
Literally, this has been going on for several decades. And rightly so. You're talking about remembering our missing in action still to this day, our prisoners of war, all that goes on with those that fall in combat. And the Pentagon isn't supporting them. They should be inviting every person that shows up to that parking lot inside of the building to give them a handheld tour of that place if they're going to remember our fallen on Memorial Day, and instead they're turning their back on.
And let's clarify what happened. Excuse me. So the organizers of Rolling Thunder, typically every year, I would assume, have to apply for the permit to have their rally. It's a motorcycle rally, to rally again to honor all of the fallen in this country since its inception, all the fallen. I can't think of anything better to do on Memorial Day, right? A motorcycle, fly your flag, and honor the fallen. And so the Biden administration declined the actual permit that they applied for. That's what happened, correct?
Let's actually go back. They first granted the permit.
Oh, geez.
And then they went back and they said, oh, no, we're going to revoke that permit and take that away. That must have got through somehow. We didn't mean to let this happen. Let's go out there and cancel that.
Okay. Now it's political. They can't claim, and obviously they're claiming it's COVID, right? They're trying to keep down the COVID cases.
Well, of course. I mean, It's not COVID related when you let hundreds of thousands in across the southern border, but it is, of course, COVID related when people want to gather together outside in a 70-acre parking lot.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting that Antifa and BLM can get permits. Well, they don't even need permits. Let's be real, Brian. They don't need permits.
But you can
they can go destroy. But you can get them. But they don't even need them. They just show up, they destroy crap, and they get away with it because the liberal Democrat mayors running these large cities tell their police chiefs and whatnot, stand down. They're just exercising their freedom to assemble, so let them do it. Yeah, as they destroy cities. But some good old red-blooded patriotic Americans, by the way, of all walks of life. If you look at the video and pic, folks, we just showed, there is every race, color, creed, religion, and age on those motorcycles every year. Tens of thousands of them. I know you've seen this. Even President Trump, when he was in office, brought up Rolling Thunder and how cool it was to see them roll through Washington, D.C. And now this administration won't allow it to happen. And that sounds to me, Congressman, like pure politics. Because why would you issue first and then retract if you were so worried about COVID?
It is pure politics. And you know this as a brother in arms as well as anybody. We just bleed green at this point. We come from every walk of life, every religion, every color, having no pennies to a million pennies in our pocket, barely getting a GED to whatever, Ivy League institution, you name it. We come from every walk of life. And we come together with the common denominator of, in our hearts, we have friends or family or somebody that was special to us that left this world defending our country, defending our right to free speech, defending our right to assemble as we should be doing in that Pentagon parking lot. And that's as sad as it gets.
Let me be a little bold here and say, what would happen if tens of thousands of bikers still just show up in D.C. and start riding around? How are they going to stop that?
Something like this may very well still happen. They are looking at other venues to kick this event off in.
Good for them.
Possibly RFK Stadium, somewhere over there, still within D.C. to get that ride going. And look, I'm still hopeful that maybe we can get the Pentagon to do what they should be doing. Issue an apology. Sorry for the confusion. This was a mistake that we took that permit back. And veterans, patriots, Americans, please come to the center of defense for we the people. This is a country that still answers to we the people. So please come here and utilize what you all paid for. Yeah,
to a degree it does, unfortunately, Congressman. I want to pivot a little bit because you had a quote when you started discussing this, I think it was last week or earlier this week. You had said, sadly, in Joe Biden's America, it's easier to cross the border illegally than it is to get a permit to pay our respect to our nation's fallen heroes. Couldn't agree with you more. I want to put a quote up from President Biden when he was candidate Biden and get your response to this one. And this is, like I said, pivoting a little bit to a different talking point here. I will not stop the coronavirus. A wall, rather, will not stop the coronavirus. Banning all travel from Europe or any other part of the world will not stop it. This disease could impact every nation and any person on the planet, and we need a plan to combat it. So that's Joe Biden last year, talking about the wall and banning travel when we had President Trump in office. Your thoughts as a sitting congressman, seeing now that he has banned travel to and from India? I mean, obviously the word hypocrite comes to mind, but maybe you have some other colorful metaphors we can use.
Hypocrite is a pretty good one to sum it up. But in so many places, they really have snatched victory out of the jaws of defeat, if that's the right way to say it. They've really pulled a defeat out of the jaws of victory, however that goes, because they're looking at policies that hurt Americans because they did all these day one policies just in response to say, well, if President Trump did it, then we can't do that. And this goes to the exact same thing. It's wrong when President Trump said we're going to protect America from countries where maybe they can't vet for terrorist ties in the same way that we can. Makes sense for all Americans to help keep them safe. But that's racist. That's wrong. Not racist and wrong that President Biden did a eulogy for the longest sitting Democrat KKK Senator Robert Byrd. Mm-hmm. That never came up at all. But that's a racist thing. And by the way, the other part of their solution that you didn't bring up just now is that their plan is to send hundreds of millions of dollars to South America because that will heal, that will fix all of these people showing up on our southern border. I can tell you this, I don't know one person that's been at work since 6 o'clock this morning saying, yeah, please send some of my hard-earned dollars to a corrupt government in South America. That will stop all the people from showing up on our border illegally.
Yeah, and do we have that total? Because I mean, we've heard our vice president say, oh, I'm speaking with the leaders in El Salvador and Guatemala and we're trying to fix the root problem so the folks don't keep coming through Mexico and to our southern border. But we've never heard about those meetings, those phone calls or anything. I just heard they want to send a bunch of money. How much of my money, our money, are we sending?
What's the root problem? We didn't pay you enough to not do that? That's their assessment of the root problem?
I'm just, wow. You know, Congressman, I'm sure you get the letters and the emails from your constituents. We get them here at OANN and at Real America. And people are just like, what are we going to do? How do we fight back? How do we take this for 3.5 more years? What's happening to this country? And I tell them, well, you don't give up. That's for sure. I don't have a solution. I'm just a guy who talks on TV. I don't have some amazing degree in all the answers, but we can't stand for it. This is insane. This looks nothing like the America I grew up in. And I know when we say that, then the first thing the left says is, oh, you want to go back to the good old days of racism and women not getting paid the same and gay people being beaten. I'm like, no, you idiots. I'm talking about when we used to love this country, when we respected our police officers and law and order, when we honored our heroes, especially the fallen ones. And then you see what's happening today, and you just go, how are we going to get through it? I'll just end and give you the final word. Give us some positivity here, Congressman, on how to keep the fight and keep moving forward.
The positivity is this. There are absolutes in the United States of America. And those absolutes are people that are willing to fight and die for this country, and people that are willing to fight and die in their communities to protect others, our law enforcement, our fire, our first responders. We're brothers and sisters, hand in hand, willing to go out there and answer the call as soon as that call comes in. And that's the heart and soul of we the people in this great country that we love.
God bless you. Representing Florida's 18th Congressional District, Congressman Brian Mast, thank you for your service in the military, and thank you for your service now in the House of Representatives, because we need strong leaders like you and others. You take care.
God bless.
God bless you.